With the music.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dre, and today you guys are here with Let's Talk, the BB Afterthought. We are so excited to have each and every one of you here. If you're watching live, thank you. We appreciate it. If not, that's fun. Just, give us a like, give us a comment. But I'm here with two amazing people. I got Drew Michael. Drew Michael, what's going on today?
Not much. Just excited to talk some Big Brother. What about you?
I'm ready to talk about some Big Brother as well. Casey, the reality Casey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I got a cameo from Kevin Jacobs today, the winner of Big Brother Candidate 10. You know what I mean?
Tell us about that. How the hell you do that?
I bought it for like $20 because my birthday is next week. And I just love, like, if you haven't seen Big Brother Canada, go watch it. I don't want to spoil the winner, but I kind of did. But he's amazing, best player, and best Big Brother player at all time, for real.
No, absolutely, I definitely agree. Well, I just want to say this week we're going to talk a little bit about that.
I like your background, Drew Michael.
I know we love this
leg. Yes. Everybody else has little tapestries. I just have.
You got legs for days.
Well, let's just jump right into it. Jasmine won HOH. What the hell are we thinking after this? It just happened.
Hell of a twist.
Or an ankle twist.
Oh,
was that 2 on the nose there?
It wasn't a break. I can tell you that right now.
She got some x-rays and it doesn't seem like anything came of it. Darn.
Well, she got a little boot. Right? They put her in a boot now, so I don't know if she uses crutches still. Does she?
How does she get up and down the stairs? Does she use the crutches?
No, she scooted on her ass. Did you see that video of her like coming down the steps one time?
Wait, are you for real? She scooted on her ass? I thought that was a joke.
I wish they had the spiral staircase though. Like that would have fucked her up.
Yeah.
Wait, did they not have that anymore?
No.
It's like this weird, like straight up. Like it's just
like it's like this.
Yeah. Wait, since when?
I think since Celebrity, because I remember Todrick coming down being extra.
I think it changed during All Stars season 22.
I don't know. I think it was still there for 23 though.
Yeah,
I don't know. The detail is bad. I did not know that. I had not noticed. I just always thought we were.
But no, I mean, once you guys turned on the feeds, if you watched it on the feeds, or if you waited until Sunday to watch the episode, what were your thoughts when you saw Jasmine name pop up? Because me personally, I was really annoyed just based off of her week 1 interactions, behaviors. I was like, I don't like
targets.
This. Yeah, I was like, I don't like this at all.
I mean, they really had the feeds off for a super long time after Thursday night. Like, it was practically like 2 or 3 a.m. Friday morning. Like, I was asleep. So I remember seeing on Twitter that Jasmine had won, and I thought it was one of those like incorrect BB updates. Like, someone is just trying to troll. I'm like, haha, so funny. Like, she broke her leg. She's not gonna win. And then come to find out, like, I turn on the feeds and there she is in the bed next day. It's like, how the hell y'all let Christmas win? You know, like, how's she back? I got rid of her.
I'm like, ugh, Christmas. Like, it gives me Christmas. You're disappointed?
Yes, I did not want her to win. I agree. First of all, I was like, okay, hold up, because I've been seeing clips of that, and now I am convinced that her foot did not touch the floor. But for a hot minute there, I was like, that confetti moved. It moved, but apparently it was just the air. I don't know.
Confetti's really light as it is.
Yeah, I feel like they should have had better camera angles because that was like so. It was like a pan down. It was like it wasn't like clear, at least to me.
Well, I think probably if I am having to put Dre hypothesis on it. Is that how you say it? Hypothesis?
Yeah,
there we go. Big word, $25 word. But no, if I had to put my own perception on what happened, I think they were being lazy and they thought, well, we already have this competition set up for the backstage twist. let's just make it part one of the HOH and blah, 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 blah. So I definitely think that the reason why they maybe didn't have as many camera angles, because I agree. I definitely think they, especially on live competitions, we need all the angles because if a situation like that happens in the future, like, and the wrong
This
person.
is a $750,000 game. It's not
exactly
right.
And we don't need you guys to be half-assing and not paying attention to little shit like this because it matters. Now, I do think that the route that her HOH has gone, I've been surprisingly pleased with it. But in that moment, I was pissed because that could have been a spot for Terrence, which would have made it easier for my girl Taylor to win HOH. But here we are with the Jasmine HOH.
Facts. I don't know. I think it's really interesting how they did the competitions because they were like, here's a pie eating contest, like true or false. It's like, could we not have hosted that during the live eviction so we could just use HOH? Because I guarantee you she doesn't win there.
That's true.
Like, why aren't we just doing like a old-fashioned true or false? You know, that's why I want to see second HOH, right? Like, why do we gotta complicate things? Like,
yeah. Well, Drew Michael, how did you feel about the competition? Did you like the comp that they decided to do?
I mean, it was all right. I honestly didn't really watch. Like, I watched it, but I was not like paying attention. I was kind of zoned out just because I was not.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah. I mean, and Jasmine's diary room, I was just, I was kind of over it. But now that I know that, because I just thought, oh, well, Taylor's gone. But now, you know, there might be a chance for her. So I'm a little more invested again. Like, I don't know. I'm scared to get burned.
I know. Well, we're definitely going to get into the Taylor situation here in a sec. But I don't know. For me personally, when I was watching the competition, I was just like, I just kept thinking of what if this person, Jasmine, was out and we could have had a Terrence here. Who knows? Maybe Terrence would have done a great job in a pie eating competition. It's really hard to gauge who's going to do well in that. But I feel like for me, I was just a little frustrated because I wish that we would have either done one or the other. I just didn't understand why we did two different parts on week 2. It's like, come on, why?
Yeah, it was really messy.
Yeah. It was just a mess from Thursday carrying over, and it was just like, wow, okay.
That Thursday episode was a wreck, and it's like they're not making like the beginning game like easy for watchers like or viewers to even know what's happening, especially if I'm watching the live feeds 24/7 and I still don't fully understand the backstage twist. But now we have this really weird comp. Like they need to just make it simple, you know. Simple Big Brother is what we like.
You see, and it's so funny you say that. So here's my like friend plug. I was on Our Reality the other day and I was talking about this because I was like, listen, hey, if you are listening, go check out Our Reality. It's a really cool podcast. They also talk about Big Brother and other things. But anyways, but when I was over there, we were talking about this. And I remember saying that I wanted Big Brother to go back to its simplicity. They keep adding all these twists, turns, competitions that no one fucking asked for. We don't want that. We want to see the game of Big Brother happen. And I think the backstage twist is a clear example of why the fuck we don't want this extra shit, because it doesn't work. To me, it was given the challenge vibes. So I'm like, are we trying to rebrand ourselves? Like, what's going on? And it just didn't work. And I just think that CBS is not thinking about their fans. We're kind of getting tired of this bullshit keep going on over and over and over, you know?
I agree. Part of me thinks it's because it could be like CBB just does it, or, you know, Canadian Big Brother is what I mean by that. They do it so well, so much better than US Big Brother, that I think they might be trying to change certain aspects of their game to differentiate. But I agree. Like, I love the fact that back in the day, like, you know, a vote that could potentially tie, or, you know, one person is a swing vote, that brought so much drama and so much entertainment and so much strategy. And I honestly feel like the prize money they should lower to get more serious strategic applications if that's what they're going for. But it's like they're just casting Love Island on Big Brother. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like I feel like if we were able to go back to the basics, it would be fine, as long as you have that cast that can, like, you use these twists and stuff to support the cast, and I just feel like the cast alone have not been strong enough, like, personality. I don't know. It just feels like we're missing some of that, like, personality, some of that, like, differentiation. It kind of always seems just so groupthink, not really like individual play. I mean, some people this season, it's been a little bit more individual game, but I would love to see back to the basics season, but maybe change some of the rules and try and figure out like how to update the game. Just because I mean it's been messy.
I think I don't know. I just feel like if we went back to the basics and we maybe sped the game up a little bit, maybe, or maybe start the game regularly and then throw in these twists and turns. But starting off, we don't even know these people. You're already asking us to vote for someone, but then the feeds are not really giving us a highlight. Like for example, I felt like the only person that was really getting the camera time when the backstage twist was in place was Paloma.
Exactly.
And we don't know shit about Alyssa. We don't know shit about Brittany. So how the hell are you going to expect us to like come out in droves and vote versus having this like maybe week 8, week 9 where we have already developed relationships. We know who we are like rooting for. I feel like that's when fans get more engaged. I don't know. I just feel like this beginning phase of this season has just been such a letdown, probably because of just how historical and iconic last season was. And don't get me wrong, like BB23 is not my favorite season, but I definitely it was a season we had to have in order for what I thought for us to move forward. But I don't know, it's just been kind of frustrating. I feel like we've taken several steps back with this cast, and I'm keeping the hope because of, what's been going on, but still, it's just kind of a bum,
These people are so boring. Like, like Turner, like, from what I'm hearing, like Turner hasn't even been in the DR in 4 days or something. Like,
he wasn't on the episode at all. I don't think he had like a single DR thing. I saw like the little breakdown chart on Twitter.
Like this is a whole other edit. Like this is not a Purple Kelly. This is a like turn away Turner. Like I don't even understand. Like, like how do you not go to the DR? You know what I mean? Like I feel like you go to the DR at least once a day.
Who knows? So we off that tangent. To segue. So Jasmine won the HOH.
Whose team is Turner on?
I think Turner is.
Do you have Turner?
Stuck with Turner. Anyways, let's just not remind fucking Turner. But I do think we all wake up. We saw that Jasmine's HOH. We're
right.
So let's talk about some of these conversations that transpire once Jasmine was HOH. Pooch offering himself to go on the block. Like, let's just start there. How are we feeling about people offering to go on the block on week 2? Like, who does that?
I understand the positives to it. I do. But Pooch even said, like, if you're feeling that confident going on the pawn, you probably shouldn't be a pawn. It's like you're feeling extra confident, extra cocky about going on the block as a pawn. Like it's part of a resume move. Like, okay, let's get to jury and then work on resume. Okay, thank you.
Well, Michael, would you ever offer yourself to go on the block?
Hell no, I'm not going up. No, I would not. I think it was like obviously not a smart decision. And we're seeing the repercussions of that. Like, he doesn't seem like he's played the game well enough to be able to volunteer to go up on the block. Like,
especially because he just had guaranteed safety. Like, how strong could those conversations even be? Like, you have guaranteed safety. Like, why?
Oh my God, this is his first week. Not like the first week he's actually.
Yes.
Playing. Well, what blew my mind was I just didn't understand why. Like, I guess I kind of, in his logic of everyone hates Taylor, I'm going to sit next to her and put myself on the block. That way I can say I've gone on the block. Please don't put me up. But week 2, you guys don't even really know each other. That was a really bold move, I think.
It was. I truly think that the hatred for Taylor, and I mean hatred because at this point that's what it is, overshadowed any other thought process in his mind. He was like, my one thing is like, I'm going to tunnel on this girl and I'm going to get her out. And it's like, okay, well now Amira is the first person who had the conversation with Jasmine, like, no, we should keep Taylor because we can use her to go after these guys, you know? That's when these conversations start happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Taylor is not the target. Like, what? So I'm just so glad that Amira woke up and is making
Literally
Jasmine,
woke
like,
up.
I think Amira was the one that convinced Jasmine to not target Taylor. But otherwise, Jasmine has been also locked on Taylor.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to Amira and Nicole because both
Yes.
of them were really, you're so right, Casey. Both of them were really trying their hardest just to make sure that if Pooch wanted to go up, screw going after Taylor. We can go after her anytime. We can use her right now. Let's take out the big guy. So I definitely do want to give them credit because I was a little disappointed in Nicole and Amira. Like they just didn't really strike me as the like catty mean girls. So when they
to
were
jump and join in, and it's like mob mentality. But even Nicole at one point was like, I don't know, like in her DR she was like, I don't believe this about Paloma. But I think with Daniel just adding on to it, you know, at some point you can't go against the grain, but I still feel like there's a line between what you stand for and how you personally treat people in any game. So
yeah, but I also do think that in a world where like they may have, you know, having a conversation. I know that's really hard nowadays, but having a conversation, they would have realized that Taylor was one, not bad, and two, that it just wasn't true. And that's why I feel like I have such not hatred, that's a strong word, but disdain in my heart right now for Monty because it's like I felt like he contributed heavily to like make this narrative and he did absolutely nothing to stop it. And I just feel like whatever, we've already been down that road. But when they were doing that, I really respected Nicole and Amira a lot because I just thought, wow, like they're giving kind of Taylor the Alyssa edit, right? Like from BB15. For me personally, the first 3 weeks, if you would have asked me on Tuesday each time if Alyssa was going home, I would have been like, yes, she's going home. This is the week that she goes. And then she always stayed between her and Helen and Amanda McCrae, whoever, they always was finding a way to keep Alyssa and blindside someone else. And I feel like we're starting to get a remake here with Taylor. I think a lot of people are like, we'll get out next week. We'll get out next week. And then like as time goes on, there's other people that surface themselves to be like targets. So it's like, is Taylor gonna go home?
And there's gonna be people who want to keep her, like Michael, who's like, oh, I want to go as far as I can with Taylor. Because he knows that she's always going to be like a huge, like larger target. And he's right. Even though he's won 2 competitions, Taylor is still the bigger target. Like these people are just obsessed.
Yeah. And now, okay.
But so am I. I love her.
I don't love to hate her. I love to love her.
Yeah.
Love to love.
So Drew Michael, when we get to talking about that, like how do you feel about kind of those early morning conversations? Or Casey, both of you guys can chime in, but when you were watching or hearing about it, how are y'all feeling, you know, learning that maybe Taylor was actually going to be safe this week?
I think it was nice that it wasn't so predictable. I will give this season that is, as much as I think it's about to be very predictable, they keep, something happens. Like, you know, we thought Taylor was going home. Okay, Paloma self-evicted. We thought, you know, somebody was going to leave, and then it wasn't Taylor, and then we thought Taylor was going to be the target week 2, and now she's ending up hopefully staying.
They want her to win HOH next week.
Yeah, they want her to win it.
Yesterday they were like, we don't want her to win, but today they're like, oh, we can use her. So it's like, thank God. Like, I just think that everybody in that game deserves an opportunity, and I don't think that Taylor ever received one. So I think now, and it's less than a week since Paloma has left, but it seems like all of that hatred and stuff, like, is stopping a little bit, or, you know, hopefully. But it's hard to be a Taylor stan in these streets. I'll say that.
Yeah. And it seems like we said on the last episode, once Paloma left, we were hopefully like, these other players were going to be able to breathe. And so we can now start to see it's not just, instead of it being Taylor that Paloma had targeted, they're starting to think on their own with the Pooch decision and getting him out while they have the chance. Because every season we see they wait to take these guys out and then it's too late. But it seems like somebody's been watching Big Brother, or they're just they didn't watch any and they're just thinking like better now.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I really couldn't believe it. Just, when I saw that it was Jasmine, I was like, ugh, I'm not going to pay attention to this. I don't want to hear them chat Taylor all week long.
So hard to watch. So hard.
It's so hard to watch. And I think maybe a couple hours later, I went to go check the feeds and he was like listening to the conversation. And I was like, wait, let me go back on Twitter and like see what I've missed because Pooch is the target now. Like, I was like, there's no way that this is true. And then that's when everything unraveled and I found out like kind of how everything played like to get to the point that we were at. So nominations come around and it's looking like Pooch and Taylor. Well, who would have thought?
I would have thought.
Who would have thought?
I mean, Jasmine nominating Pooch, like, and her ZR, she was like, oh, you want to offer yourself up as a pawn? I'll just take you out instead, which I thought was really smart. But again, it's not her move. It's Amira and Nicole. And again, it's Amira and Nicole in that storage room with Monty going. And Nicole's like telling him right now, like, we're taking Pooch out and you next, basically, like to his face. And I loved it.
Well, and for anyone that has not seen that clip, I will highly suggest that you look for it because it is truly amazing. Like I
need to see this clip.
She reprimanded him. Like I just can't even like the cop came out. Like she was like, he's coming after both of us. Like she made it apparent that like Monty was coming off that he valued his safety more than hers and Amira's and like completely turned it on him as to why he should target Pooch. I don't know. It was good.
I need to watch this.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I can find it for you guys.
I'll look too.
I think I found it, but I'm not sure. Oh,
I think it's definitely got to be in the top, like hashtags for sure.
There's not a clip. I wonder if it's been blacklisted from.
Because there was definitely a clip yesterday.
All right, I found it. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen with you lovely people. And if you're watching from home, you can listen.
Ooh. So yawny today.
All right, can y'all see that?
Yes, let's go.
She looks like a baddie.
Oh, she's ready to fucking fight.
Y'all feel confident in what she says. I don't feel confident in keeping him here because I don't feel safe. You guarantee me that I would be here next week, and you guarantee bullshit. No, absolutely not. Are you looking at Pooch and thinking like, damn, I don't know what he's gonna do? He tells everybody.
I don't give a shit if he says what he's gonna do. I know that I'm safe with her being here. And I know that she's safe with her being here. And I know that my alliance is safe with her being here.
What I'm trying to say is, I've never heard of Pooch. Of course, he's mentioned on strong points, but he's never mentioned, oh yeah, like, I'm definitely looking to get Nicole and Amira out this week or whatever. He's never said,
So that is what happened. Nicole and Amira just definitely let Monty have it, and you know what? Good for them. Truthfully, like I'm glad they did because you know what did Taylor do to him? You know, however Taylor did.
Exist.
I like the little pairing
go ahead.
too. Nicole and Amira. I like that pairing.
I do too.
I've been wondering, like, are they
seem very smart?
Are they the real duo, or is it? Nicole
I think so. I think that Nicole needs to recognize that like Daniel, like strategically nommed 3 people and none of them went home. Like that's somebody I would be so scared to attach my game to. But at the same time, I've heard Alyssa say about Daniel and Nicole like they're basically in a showman. It's because of how connected they are, and everybody knows it.
Yeah,
it's pretty much a showman's, or it's pretty much a set of 2. So that's my concern with Nicole is what happens when someone's ready to come after Daniel. I think she could become a pawn or even like
That is true.
an eviction option if he won veto.
That is a really cool what if scenario to think about. Like if they were targeting Daniel, right, and the nom stays the same, I definitely think Daniel goes 100% before Nicole. I think
Yes.
Nicole has just played hands down far better of a social game than Daniel personally.
Mm-hmm. And Nicole in that clip, like you can see her face. I'm taking my glasses off, but you can see her face. She's like not happy. And it's like, Monty, whatever the heck you're trying to say right now to convince her, like she's not gonna take it. Her face is like she's like, and she walks away multiple times because she's not happy with what she's hearing. What does he do? Continue to talk over her.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some of these house guests this season really lacks self-awareness, because if someone was looking at me like that, whatever I'm saying, I'm shutting up. I'm not going to say it again, because like clearly they don't like that.
Ally, and they don't want that to happen. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they casted a specific type of crazy for this cast. Like, I don't know what else, but it's just like a whole other level of like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, and that's why I think this season is going to be so crazy because of that. Like, I really don't know who's going to win. It could be Jasmine. It could be Taylor. And I think Taylor has such a good shot to get the jury after the recent events.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird it took that for her to even have a chance. So
Casey, you say because of recent events. Could you please elaborate on what recent event just happened in the Big Brother house?
So they got a booze delivery, right?
A booze delivery? Woo!
Yeah, a booze delivery. And I think they waited until super late to drink anything, because they got it kind of early in the night.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I thought they got it earlier in the night.
They really did, like 8 p.m. And they waited till like, they got like 8 p.m. Central my time, and it's like 2 or 3 a.m. that they started really getting crazy with it. But I don't know fully what happened. All I know is like Taylor, which there were comments going around by Jasmine that Taylor thought Daniel was cute, and I was like, no, not Crunchy Elvis. Like, no. But it's true. She does. She got a little liquid courage in her and apparently saw some things. Nothing too crazy, but enough where she wanted to make out with him. And today Daniel's like, we should keep Taylor. So like, I think it's a strategy. I'm not sure if she did cam talk in the morning, but I know like one of my favorite, Twitter people was like, oh yeah, this is strategy. She's confirming it's strategy. And I'm like, good on her, because she's recognizing that she can't do it with Monty, but Daniel's a little horn dog in that house. And I watch him look at Alyssa all the time, and I guarantee you she did the same thing, because that just happened last night, that he was staring at Alyssa in the hot tub, and I watched it. And I think that she's appealing to the white man. And like, look, it's literally getting her further. Amira's like, yeah, like I'm starting to forgive her. For what? What did she do? I'm still so confused.
Well, almost threw up just thinking about it.
Me too, but I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she's going to get to jury because of that.
I don't want to see it on my TV, though.
Yeah, please. I hope this is like a segment that CBS is like, maybe we shouldn't show this. Like, CBS, if you hear about our little talk show, do not show that shit. No one wants to see it. Anyways, when I read about
Daniel's condoms, we don't.
I was like throwing up in my mouth, because when I first read that happened, I was like, wait, please don't say that, because Daniel was making those assumptions that Taylor was following him around,
stalking him. It's like,
so I was like, wait, is this true?
Don't flatter yourself. Yeah, it was shocking for me.
It was really shocking, and like, I hope she never makes out with him. I mean, it looks like Daniel just woke up out of the forest and was like, let's play Big Brother. You know what I mean?
No, he literally, like, I think they just pulled him off of like the street of Vegas or something and was like, hey,
the strip of Vegas, the slums of Vegas. Like,
literally.
Is it the real Vegas? Like in Chattanooga, they have this thing called Chat Vegas. They must have found him there. I don't know.
Really? Where is that?
Have we even seen a live performance of him as Elvis? Because I can't believe he can pull that off. And even Elvis is like, Elvis is nasty, now that I know what I know about Elvis. But out of all the people to impersonate, that's who you choose?
Well, he is famous. But I'm also from Memphis, so like I'm biased.
But he died from like 100 pounds of feces that never left his body.
I actually just was at the house where he died at. My like friend's parents like own an Airbnb, and it's like Elvis's doctor's house. It's like the one that Elvis built for. This is off topic. This isn't Big Brother. Let's get back to the game.
Well, I have one more off topic thing because this was actually said to me. So I was on a date with someone, and when I got to the date, they literally looked at me and said, "Wow, you look like so good in person." And I was like, does that mean I don't look good in my pictures? So I mean, hey, maybe Daniel just looks better in person. Like from what we can see, it's just not there. But
you know
what? I don't know.
You could be right about that, but at the same time, like the fact that Taylor likes older men, which get it. Like I know for her job, like she's around older men probably a lot too. So like I could definitely see that. But he has fried blonde hair, like right here, like right here, like not even the full, like it's like half, and it's like, ooh, I just wish I could.
Okay, so I feel like we've talked about Daniel a lot. Drew Michael, when you initially heard this, what were your thoughts? Like, did you also think
I was like, girl, well, I was up on Twitter during all of this, so they kept coming. I saw that they had alcohol. It was like the 2 bottles of wines and like 2 beers. I was like, okay, well, they're not getting hammered.
Yep.
16 people are getting drunk off of that.
I was like, how do they get drunk off of that? When I saw
if you think about it, they've been sober for probably a month, right? Before going into the house.
I go a week without drinking, and then I get like 1 drink, and I'm like, so I can't even imagine going 2 weeks. And then I also think about that too. Ain't none of them gotten anything for 2 weeks, you know?
I see.
So maybe other people do start looking a little bit, you know, 3s become 7s. Or,
I've got a funny story about that.
But I don't know. Man. I was happy when Casey told me though that it was strategy, but I just hope, because I still don't know if that's like 100% true or not. I didn't watch the clip.
I think that there's like 3 or 4%, or maybe more, that her wanting to just make out with somebody, like not really caring who, but like just knowing that she's straight potentially. I think, and that was the only option other than Joseph, who had somebody. Monty was just not it. Michael gay. Kyle.
Terrence would have been.
Terrence is married.
Alyssa was, but Alyssa was rubbing his belly, flirting with Terrence. Like
Alyssa?
That's what I saw on Twitter. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Is this all when they were all drinking? Did they just have like a
that Alyssa was like kikiing with Terrence and like sweet tea, you know? Like I could see it. Like
I feel like I would start making out with everybody in that house if I got drunk after not being drunk for 2 weeks.
Don't let it.
Tim just looked at me like, sorry.
Don't let a remotely fun person be in there, because if I haven't gone a month without drinking, I can't promise what I'm going to do. But I want to see. I need to go back on the feeds and see. I want to see how much was in the cups, because from what it just sounded like they were just all sloshed last night.
I know.
I feel like they got like a second delivery that we just didn't know about or something. But
the picture I saw, I was like, "Hey, no way in hell they're getting drunk off of that."
And even they said it. Even they were like, maybe they're just trying to test us. And I'm like, no, I think based off the past 2 seasons, that's about usually what they would get.
I mean, they had 2 beers this size, and then 2 wine bottles that was maybe a little bit bigger than this.
Which one of them I could probably drink by myself. Like,
did everybody get 2 beers, or did they only give 2 beers?
They only had 2. I swear.
For the whole house, it was like,
or like
I think it was 3 beers. I remember seeing like 2. I think it was 2 small beers. I think it was 2 small beers, 1 taller beer, and then it was like 2 bottles of wine, and like that's it.
Oh.
Here, you guys keep talking about it. Let me see if I can find it.
There's definitely a picture on Twitter of alcohol delivery.
It's like very small, but I guess we got some lightweights in the house.
I think so.
Taylor did say that she's not going to be drinking again in the Big Brother house, but
I found it. I found it. This is embarrassing. Like, I mean, if I walked in that storage room and Big Brother's like, "Booze have been delivered for you," and I walked in and saw this shit, I would be like, "You are How the fuck we're all gonna drink this?
Yeah, okay, so 3 larger beers and then 2 bottles of wine. Yeah, that's
a White Claw. I could tell a White Claw from a mile
true.
away.
And I think they're trying to hide it, but
I want a White Claw.
This is what saved Taylor's game, so thank you.
Thank you, Booze. Okay, on the count of three, everybody say thank you, Booze. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Booze.
No, just kidding. But it did save Taylor's game because it seems like, to the viewers at home that may not have seen this or heard about this, but it does seem like a lot of people are a little more receptive to Taylor because of some of the things that drunk Taylor may have done. From what I'm gathering, it does seem like she had a strategic thought process behind it.
And she did do something. She
drunken
said
one.
something that really started turning people to wanting to work with her, which was, I'm not going after the girls. I want to work with the girls. And I want to go after the guys. And she said that while she was drinking. So I think that is really what's also helping her.
Well, I think, okay, so
Good.
here's the question I have. Do we think that Taylor has a fighting chance, though? Like, even after all this has happened, do we think that there's somebody in the house that will be willing to be her ride or die? Because my thing is with Michael, I don't understand why Michael haven't made that move with Taylor or even Brittany, because he doesn't have anybody that I don't think, I feel like the only people that are solidified within something is Nicole, Amira, and Daniel to an extent, I guess you can say. But I really think that's it. I feel like everyone else has been kind of expendable, it seems like.
I would absolutely love an Amira, Nicole, Michael, Taylor, maybe Daniel, even at that point, sort of alliance to dominate, because I don't think Daniel wins this game at all after that first week.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing. Like, my concern is, okay, Taylor makes jury. If Taylor goes to the end, who's going to vote for her to win? These people.
Nobody.
No, I don't. I have to disagree with the panel.
I think Michael's, like, if Michael was in jury, I think he'd be like, okay, the game's over at this point. All of you are ridiculous. Like, you all are all nasty, because I think he sees what's happening.
Maybe this is ignorant of me to say, but I kind of feel like this newfound love for Taylor has come from, I think, the conversations that production had, right? The feeds were off for hours. We didn't know what was said, but
True.
the conversations that production did have with them about the microaggressions, then on top of that, Paloma leaving. So like the source of pushing the Taylor hate is gone. So I don't know. Me personally, I just don't trust these house guests yet. I definitely think that maybe next week Turner goes, but then the week after that, it's back to going after Taylor. And it's kind of like it's always like that with the African American house guests, like especially the women. I mean, think about Devon, think about Bailey. Like, they are people that their eyes was on them as soon as the house target left. And it was like, why then when you have a Brent in the house, you have a Victor in the house? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't, to me, doesn't make sense, because I don't know. I don't see a world where Taylor makes it far in this game unless she keeps doing what she's doing right now. I know in the last episode we recorded, I said that I think Taylor needs to step up her social game. I love her, but I don't want her to go home anytime soon. And I feel like she's playing this very casual, patient, and cool, and I admire her for that. But I would love to see her just step it up a little bit, because she just doesn't have anybody that's really supporting her the long term right now, like other people.
I think she's finally starting to get a little bit of footing, but beforehand, like, if she were to step it up, like, she's on the blog. She can't be doing too much on the blog, but if she's doing enough, which I think she's doing enough to stay good in the good graces of everybody. And it sucks because she has to work extra hard, because she even has, like, Terrence and Monty calling her a bitch and all this stuff. And, I watched this stream with Hannah, I think it was called, like, the Secret Alliance. It's got, like, Jason from BB, like, Danielle, Hannah, Jason and Hannah. And Hannah mentioned something about colorism, which is, I think, something that Ozza talked about a lot, which I never fully understood until I've been watching the season, and I've been watching how these other, like, how these Black house guests too are talking about Taylor, and it's just like, wow, like, there's racism, but then there's colorism, which is within your own race, and that's something that I even, like, never knew was a thing. So people definitely go educate yourself about colorism, because that's definitely what's happening in the house, as well as, I think, racism. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's just I guess where I stand on the situation with Taylor. Like I'm definitely rooting for her and I want her to win. I am just worried because I just don't feel like there's anyone in there that's watching out for her. Like I want to see her get into something. And speaking of that, I think right before we start filming, I could be wrong, but I think I was reading somewhere about them kind of starting to have that conversation. I think it was Michael, Taylor, Nicole, I don't know. Maybe you can fact check me, Casey, but I do remember a conversation starting to be had with Taylor about creating something because I do think next week they want her to win to go after Turner or Monty.
Yes.
But I kind of hope Michael win. I kind of want Michael or Brittany to win. Somebody else that would do that. That way, week 4, once that house target's gone, that gives Taylor an opportunity to win and hopefully reintegrate herself back into the game.
I think Michael needs to be careful though with all these wins. He's winning a lot very fast, and it's because did he really need to win the veto this week? Like, I mean, we haven't seen the competition, but like, it just seems questionable.
Yeah, because from what I heard, I think he tried to throw it to Taylor, and Taylor was like, he tried to throw it to me, but I blew it. So I don't think he was really going for it. I just think that like it was going to be too obvious he was throwing it if he didn't.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to make sure that like she got it. Like if anybody got it and it wasn't him, like it was her. So I think strategically he still is making the best moves for himself. I worry about him as a threat, but like I said, you know, they're looking at Taylor and also on Twitter right now, because we're not watching the live feeds while we're recording this, but on Twitter right now, seems like Kyle is going to Monty, just being like, I think the girls are working together. So we definitely have a gender war happening amongst us. And it's like Julie mentioned this twist on Thursday, which is actually going to be on Friday, I think. But
yes,
what is this? Who could this be? Is it the Fantasy Besties? Like, what?
Yeah, real quick though, before anybody who may watch this and don't know about that, yes, Thursday's episode is being pushed to Friday because of the January 6th bullshit. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm kind of interested, so I might tune in.
January 6th is when they try to take over the Capitol, and it's also the day that Kanye was fucking Jeffrey.
I know those things because this is my January 6th is my birthday. I had the worst birthday.
Wait,
ever.
that all happened on your birthday?
Yeah. I hate it.
Like,
I can't. It happened like
America's falling on my birthday.
I think I was somewhere drinking a drink. Like y'all know me, so I was like, what the hell is going on?
It was a Wednesday. I remember that at work, and I was like, somebody's trying to take over the Capitol right now. Like,
I was sitting there doing fucking laundry. I was just folding it. Like, damn, they really are right here, dude. And I sat there and I watched it all day. I was like, are we all
funny.
Die?
Funny, but thinking back on it, it's like, what the fuck was going on in the timeline? It's truly
scary.
There was a lot of shit happening that day. Like, at first it was Jeffrey and Kanye, and I was like, dang, like, is this really happening out in Wyoming right now? But I think it was just a ploy for what happened at the Capitol. Like, it was like noon. It wasn't even like 2 p.m. Like, these people like woke up, had their breakfast, and just stormed the Capitol. But anyway, back to Big Brother.
On the way to the Capitol. Yeah.
yes.
God. Maybe we do need that structure.
Anyways. Sorry, I did not mean to throw you off. You were talking about the BB Besties.
Yes, bestie festie or whatever. What do we think this twist is gonna be? Like, Dre, what do you think?
I don't know. I kind of hope it's like a safety chain. Like I hope it's like everyone has to pick someone in the last like 2 or maybe the last 4 become, oh shit, I forgot the backstage is done. Just kidding. But I think it would be really cool to see a safety chain, especially right now with the game starting to heat up a little bit with guys versus girls. A part of me is like so disgusted that we're doing guys versus girls, but I'm actually
at least it's not Taylor. At least it's just not Taylor. You know what I mean?
It's not Taylor, but it's just like, damn, why are we still doing guys versus girls? It's 2022. But I can't remember the last time we actually had a season that played completely out where it's guys versus girls. Well, I'm here for it.
What about Daniel and Michael?
Have it back and forth.
I think Daniel and Michael are going to work with the girls because like they're realizing that, you know, the girls want to take out these big guys, and that's not terrible for their game.
Yeah, but see, my thing with Michael and Daniel saying that they want to work with the girls, I feel like it's setting it up for like the Alyssa in the cookout situation where like all the girls are gonna be left and the guys are like, well, I've helped you guys get here, so are y'all gonna start taking each other out? And then it's gonna be like a huge blindside. So I definitely don't think it's gonna stay girls versus guys, but
No.
I would love to see that play out.
I think
Never
pre-jury it might, but I mean Kyle, I will say Kyle at the beginning of the season was the person that everybody like, you know, like preseason that person had the most dirt on them, you know.
Mhm.
But playing the game, he's very observant. He knows what's happening. He clocks everything correctly. And I think he's got a really good chance at making it to the end and winning if he can like kind of comp out until then or make some really good deals. I think that strategically, like he's the only person that's staying in that house, in my opinion, like as far as strategy.
I'll have to give it to you because I do
Yeah.
think that's something I forgot to mention when we were talking about the early stage of Jasmine's HOH. Kyle came and had a conversation with Jasmine, and pretty much Jasmine was like, look, the house won't Pooch out. He got to go. Pooch told me you were one of his closest guys, and like y'all, it was like clockwork watching the feeds. Like Kyle left that HOH room was like, I gotta cut ties off with Pooch because like clearly he's a sinking ship, and he did that. Like he definitely created that distance. He was talking to people like, "Hey, if you're going after him, like I'm okay. Like I'm on the fence." And it was so interesting to see it go from "fuck Taylor, she's going home this week" to "oh, hey, I'm leaning on the fence. I don't know if I want to see Taylor go this week." It was just I don't know. I thought that was really cool to see play
that. And like, what was I gonna say? Oh, with Pooch is going around telling people that Kyle is his number one, and then I think he was talking to someone who was like, "Oh yeah, the people I'm working with, Turner," and so he slipped up. But Kyle's actually pretty annoyed with that too. He's like, "I don't know why you're saying that," like, because clearly Pooch can't feel that good with Kyle to be like, "Yeah, this is the person I trust the most. Go take him out." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also Pooch throwing Monty under, like, "Hey, you should renom Monty." Pooch has been coming around to the fact that he might not be so safe this week. And I want the blind of the sides. I want all of the blind side this round. If anybody ruins the blind side for me, like they're dead to me. So.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get another juicy week 2 blindside. The last one that it's like right here in my brain right now. I'm sure I'm missing some, but the Swaggy C week 2 blindside, like we're about to
oh my god,
another one. That was golden. I thought that was so good. Love you, Swaggy C. But
I didn't watch that season live, but I feel like it would have been a dumpster fire live. Like
the pre-jury of that one was good.
You just had to be in the BB Twitter streets for BB20. That pre-jury Twitter was I had the most fun ever.
Because it was every week was a blindside because they were not telling nobody.
Yeah, you're right. I remember Fessy would be like, "I don't really know what's happening." Like each time he'd stand up, he'd stand up and hug the person that he, voted to keep.
Who flipped? Yep. I'm like, do the math. Don't even get me started with that because what are these people doing in the house? Like, you guys can't read a book besides the Bible. You can't write. You can't text. Like, how do you guys not notice some of these social dynamics? Like week after week after week.
Even with the cookout, like Alyssa's like, "Oh, you guys vote me out like last or next or whatever because I'm half white," and they're like, "Ah."
Yeah, that's so funny
like, do you know how much manipulation that has to take? Because like in a social setting, because that's basically what the Big Brother is like a microism or whatever the fuck you want to call it of the real world, right? It's like that. Race always stands out. So the amount of manipulation that like had to go into that cast is a lot for them to not see it. You know what I mean?
Because like for me, I mean, I am a person of color, so I think I would have been part of the cookout. But I do think if I was in the Big Brother house and there was a dominating alliance, like, okay, Casey, this is a great example. We play orgs, right? Online Big Brother games and Survivor games. I feel like if we, from our own homes, through devices and cameras, like we're not even with each other, and we can still figure out who's working with who.
Round 2, I clocked you and Kay. Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah, but... okay now. But it's moments like that where I'm like, if you're in this house with them all day, 24/7. I just don't understand how some things super noticeable go unnoticed. I don't know.
Facts.
Maybe I'm being selfish because we get this.
Maybe it's like a hiding in plain sight kind of thing. Who knows? Because it's hard to say when you haven't lived it.
Right.
You know.
That's true, Drew Michael. That's very true. Because I mean, again,
like,
it's a very unique experience. You're right.
So true. And like these people, like, you know, like I'm not somebody that's like, oh, it's, you know, a black person or whatever, but it's, you know, everybody's my friend. I'm friends with everybody, and I could see like Alyssa and all of the house guests kind of like the same, wanting to be on the same page, except for Brent. So I don't really think any of them saw color at that point. They just saw like, hey, these are my friends. These are who I'm playing with. When like it was all right there in front of them the whole time. Strategically, I guess, wise.
I really like that comment that Drew Michael said to you, because me and my dad actually had a conversation a while ago. He loves talking about conspiracy theories. And one of the things we got on, he was just like, a lot of times you don't have to lie to people. You can just put it in plain sight, because sometimes people see it and they kind of think that, but then they're like, no, there's no way. So it's just in plain sight. Like it's happening right in front of them, but they're just in denial about it until they're walking out the doors and they're doing their interview with Julie.
Facts. I remember DX being like, Tiffany really just put us on that board like chess pieces, and she did. She moved y'all 2 at a time because that's how they worked it. Yes. And he had no idea. He had no idea playing with those chess pieces all day what she was actually doing with them. And man, my soul when she would pick up that chessboard, you know what I mean? Each time she'd pick it up, I'd be like, who's going home next, girl? Cookout was the best alliance for multiple reasons, but they got all 6-6. The brigade only got 3-4, so that's it.
Hey, I don't know. I thought it was pretty impressive. I still just would have, I don't know. I'm still bitter about how Claire went home, but anyways, let's keep it moving. So, I mean, is there anything else? I feel like we've covered most of the big things that's happened since our last episode.
I don't think
we covered everything Big Brother and not Big Brother.
And welcome to Let's Talk BB After Season.
Let's just talk. You know what I mean? Like,
let's just talk. I need human connection.
Let's see. I thought I had an idea, but I don't remember what it is now. So. Indy. Sorry. Indy is also pushing targeting. Indy is also not somebody that wants to come after Taylor, and I feel like she's been like that from the start, just trying to like defuse the situation. And also, since Amira has switched Jasmine into targeting Pooch, obviously she still is like has her dislike for Taylor because she does. I have no idea why, but I feel like her mindset is starting to change a little bit on Taylor, and then that's also going to stop. I think she's the one pushing the most hate about her right now, if I was to say.
Who, Indy?
No, Jasmine. But I think Jasmine is slowly like tweaking it. I haven't seen her on the feeds at all today to know if she's still talking shit or not, but
last I heard, she wasn't talking shit, but it was one of those things where like I feel like Jasmine's realizing that a lot of people are like, oh, Taylor's not bad, and so she's kind of realizing like, okay, I'm the only one that's
like, I need to relax because you do. Yeah.
Because like the other day, I think I saw a clip. I know I was giving you praise earlier, Amira, but you aren't gonna get out of this one. Her and Daniel like ran out of the HOH room when Taylor was walking up, and I was just like, and Jasmine
that was just last night. That was under 24 hours ago that they were treating her like this, and Taylor has no idea.
And even in that moment, Jasmine was like, oh, "Guys, come on." So I definitely think that like, people are changing, but. Not to backtrack, but that takes me back to my point that I was making earlier. I know Taylor is not in danger right now, but I don't see it lasting for a long time.
It's so concerning because I'm hoping that people are finding her a little bit more predictable. And I think if she has a little more predictability, which it really isn't even that, they're just scared of her. They don't know what she's going to do. But I'm hoping now that she's like, no, I'm not going after the girls, that they'll just leave her alone.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, now they know she's just going to go after the guys. And that's what they want.
Because that's their concern is they don't know who she's targeting.
Well, she said that she's going after Monty. And truthfully, I don't think Monty, I think
she should because he's a snake.
They're both on that team, though. They need to stay together.
Monty can go. Monty
He
goes
can
before
go.
Taylor
Okay.
goes.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
he can go right now. And Michael, you can go with
And
him.
the next time if Taylor is ever on the block and she's like about to go home or something, like America's vote better come back and y'all better reveal it this time, because why are we voting round one off people we don't know to save their game? Like, come on, bring it back to the jury-ish.
To circle back to the best friend twist, though, I would
Yes.
I would be here for a random draw. Like, I would totally be here for them pulling chips.
Chips.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting, actually. That would really change the
Because
dynamic of the game, I feel like.
If it's computerized, I'm going to feel a certain way about it, where they're like, oh, yeah, just spin or whatever. No. Like,
Yeah.
I want them pulling chips. And even Daniel pulling chips was kind of iffy. Like, Terrence and Jasmine, Alyssa and Taylor. What are the chances of that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, you're right.
It's weird. Nicole and I mean, other things weren't really that weird, but the Terrence and Jasmine and Taylor and Alyssa were definitely, I don't know.
Okay, so in a perfect world, I think we've covered all the topics, but in a perfect world, Pooch goes home on Thursday, Friday.
Blindsided.
But hopefully blindsided. Who do each of you guys want to see win HOH? Truthfully.
Taylor.
Okay, I know it's Taylor, but why Taylor? Obviously, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep the conversation.
I guess I just really want. I just want to see people shaking their boots because I think that'd be funny. And B, because I want Monty out. Even though he's on my draft, he's like one of my players. I wouldn't mind if he left.
Yeah. What about you?
One of my pawns.
Somebody that I would love to see win HOH because I want to know what they would do with it is Nicole.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's pretty good with everybody and she probably doesn't even need to win an HOH. But at the same time, like if she did win HOH, I feel like the girls would be expecting her to nom like Monty and Kyle. But she's supposed to be in an alliance with Monty. And maybe even Kyle. I don't know. There's so many alliances. But at least with Monty and Amira, I knew that they were in something. So I would love for Nicole to get some blood on her hands at this point and maybe even be forced to backdoor Daniel to save her own game. Like, I feel like that could happen.
I would love to see Taylor do this. And this is probably why I can't play Big Brother because I'm just way too petty. But I would love Taylor to win HOH. And I would love for her to be like,
give me that key, bitch.
I'm nominating Jasmine. I'm nominating Jasmine and Daniel. Y'all,
Oh.
I mean, and then backdoor Monty. Make both of those motherfuckers sweat for all
I
that
would love
Taylor
that.
do. And
that
then,
would be iconic.
But the amount of hate she would get afterwards, like, I just can't bear it. Like, I would rather them vote her out than her continue to get this hate that she's been getting every single day and she doesn't even know. You know what I mean? The full extent.
No idea.
Yes, that's what's like worse about it is like after she gets out of the house, like mentally, I know they give you like a year of therapy, but that's gonna be years of therapy.
Yeah, because she's gonna be. I feel like I would be really paranoid. I'd be like, wow, I thought these people were my friends.
Like I was just trying to be myself, and I've been so vulnerable throughout this process, and she has been. She's been like, you know, telling her story like at that table week 1 about how it's hard for her to like make friends and be social because she is pretty closed off. She's been so vulnerable with these people and they shit on her every single freaking time that they get it under their breath. So I hope that stops. I would love for that to stop.
Yeah.
We can hope.
That's what I want. I want her to win. And honestly, I want her to win the veto and take one of them down. I hope she takes
Make
Jasmine
some good
down.
deals. Make some deals.
Mm-hmm.
Get some safety. You're right.
I hope she wins veto, takes Jasmine down and be like, Monty, you can go up there. And he goes home. Could you imagine? That would be the craziest thing ever.
I would probably cry. Like, Monty is such a piece of shit.
Oh, I can't wait till Monty get on Twitter. Ooh.
I'm still waiting for Paloma to show up. Like,
poor
I don't think Paloma's coming anytime
soon. Paloma in the house talked about her social media anxiety, and it's like, yeah, you're never going to be able to show your face on social media.
She probably just needs to stay off the grid.
There's a couple I've never bullied house guests. I've never been one to do that. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of awkward.
We're sitting here shit talking right now.
Well, like here, and I know that she's got her own mental issues, but like I said, everybody on that cast is fucking crazy. I'm crazy. I'm never gonna come at somebody and be so vicious and whatever. Like,
I'm just commenting on their actions. I'm not talking shit. I'm just, commenting on their actions.
Oh, I'm talking shit, Paloma. Pull up.
Don't pull up, Paloma. I don't need all that energy right now. But no, I think the house guest that I've wanted the most to come on Twitter was DF. Derek F was one of the most house guests. Like, I could not wait for him to come on Twitter. Not because I was gonna bully him.
To this day, that man is so annoying on Twitter.
But I just knew Twitter. No, but I knew Twitter was gonna do its thing. Because let me tell you one thing: cancel culture is not appropriate in every single situation, in every single manner. However, Twitter will hold your ass accountable. You get on TV and act a fool, they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to hold you a little way too accountable. But my thing is, these people walk into the Big Brother house as super fans, but they don't know that they're being filmed 24/7. They don't think about the things they say, the things that they do. We see everything. I just don't understand why it's always such a shock when somebody comes out and they're like, the feeds are edited. That's not what I said.
Think they only think it's the 3 hours a week, baby, on TV. They don't see I don't think that they know that how deep and in depth like the live feeds are. Like, I can see Nicole wiping Jasmine's butt crack.
I'm sure
you really saw that. They showed that on the fucking feed.
It's on the feed somewhere because it's on Twitter, but I didn't see it. Like, as soon as she broke her foot, like, she wiped her ass. Yeah.
I heard about she had to do it. I didn't know. We saw it on the feeds.
You could not pay me enough to wipe anybody's ass, and I realized that during nursing school.
As an ankle sprain, why does she need her ass wiped? You don't even got to use your feet to sit on a toilet.
I would say,
come on.
Okay, you just won HOH in this week too, and I'm not feeling that good with you. Look, I will wipe your butt, but you need to promise me right now I'm not going to the block.
Bro, I'm not wiping nobody's ass on national television.
You can kiss my ass before I wipe yours, baby.
Hey, if Ryan T won HOH and we were in a house together, I'm wiping Ryan T's ass because I know I'm going on the block.
Watch you wipe it and you still get put on the block. Then you'd be a real clown.
Very true.
AKA Pooch. That man. Okay, so I am concerned about her for when she tries to walk up those stairs moving forward, because the only person that's been carrying her scooter up is Pooch.
Oh, poor Pooch. He's
really getting the shit end of the deal, because I really think he would have kept Jasmine safe, and it's a horrible move for her, but she just doesn't want to take out a big man like Monty at this point. Whenever she could easily have Taylor come off, Monty go up, and just vote Monty out. And Pooch could be shaking in his boots.
I think she's making a great move. I mean, it's pre.
Yeah, it's still good.
She has that on her resume, even though it's technically not her move. She has it on her resume. It's week 2, and the homegirl could not win for the rest of pre-jury and still make it to then have a strong case. I mean,
yeah.
But now if he stays somehow and Taylor goes, Jasmine should be shaking in her boots. Because that's 2 girls gone out of the house.
Yeah. I was about to say, now that I'm really thinking about it, Daniel was the one that nommed Taylor and was coming for her hardcore. So now that she's I see why she's flirting with him and doing that now. She's like, yo, don't target me. I like you. See, I want to kiss you.
I think Taylor is definitely starting to realize the house dynamics, and she's probably I need to get in with Daniel.
Girls versus guys. Yep.
They're probably running the game, yeah. Especially since Daniel has been all, go girls, I want to be with the girls. I wouldn't.
But last week he was trying to rationalize keeping the big guys around. It's don't make that same dumb move every season.
Yeah.
I don't know. This cast is just really hard for me to like. It's going to be really hard for me to like any of them after this first week and a half, but
yeah. Well, I'm hoping. I've been optimistic, and I mean, this week has gone great. So far, we're setting up for a dirty blindside, and hopefully,
And a girls versus guys war, some freaking twist. It's gonna fuck it all up on Thursday or Friday. Like,
Besties.
I'm hopeful. I'm gonna keep the hope, but if it goes back to how it was week 1, I'm probably gonna be very disappointed. But
I will be too.
With
But
that,
I'll still watch the damn season.
I'm still gonna watch the damn season. They keep us every season. But with that being said, I definitely just want to say thank you, Drew Michael. Thank you, Kate, the reality Casey. We're so thankful to just be able to have this crazy show we call Big Brother. Well, until next time, I'm Poet Dre.
I'm the reality Casey.
I'm Drew Michael. My Instagram's not down here, but it will be next time.
Follow me on Twitter if you want to watch me go crazy during live feeds and whatever.
Yes. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.